So we are here. We are getting interviewed by Lynn on 93.7. We are going to be talking about my brand new multi-million-dollar private practice book that is on pre-order right now, and I want you to get your copy soon. I think it's right here, right? No, it's this one. I brought you a copy. I brought you 4 copies just in case you have friends and this.
Early Christmas gift.
Yeah, this it's for private practice owner, but honestly, like any business owner can use the concept and the framework.
It's Hot937, hot937.com, Harvard's #1 for hip hop and R&B. This is the Beat of CT. I'm Erica Lynn, and today on the show, we've got a great friend of mine. She's no stranger to the show. She's always up to something, doing great things, inspiring people, and making dreams come true. Ms. Soribel Martinez. She's an author, business coach, and consultant, CEO of SM Psychotherapy and Counseling Services. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. How are you?
I am excellent. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Busy.
Yes.
Busy.
I see.
Yes.
I follow her on social media, and to see all that she's doing, I'm just super proud of you. And you just give me so much inspiration. I'm sure that you do a lot of people or a lot of your followers and friends.
Yeah. Thank you.
So last time we were here, we were talking about your first book, Unbreakable.
Yes.
Which is absolutely amazing. Just a personal and professional book on overcoming adversity and the self-love, self-care, all of those great things. And now you have a new book already. That was May. We're in November right now.
Yes.
And this is incredible and super commendable. I just can't even believe it, Soribel. I know that you are one of the busiest women in the world, but to have a whole new book, it's called Multi-Million-Dollar Private Practice.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about what this book entails.
Well, this book really represents my efforts to bring business skills and strategies to mental health practitioners out there in private practice who want to make a huge impact in the community. They want more revenue, they want more profit, but we were not taught business in business school. In therapy school, right? We were not taught how to run a business, how to run a private practice. So I was like, you know what? When I started my private practice, I didn't have anyone to teach me. And there were a few things that I learned when I went to school for my master's in business. And I began to draft my own framework. And step by step, I created the framework from mindset all the way to hiring and onboarding your employees. So this is what I did in this book. I put it all together in this book to help mental health practitioners get the guide that they need so they can create the business of their dreams.
So you have an education background in counseling as well as business.
Yes. So I have 2 undergrads, one in psychology and biology. I went to medical school for 2 years. Didn't like medical school, honestly. Then I came back. I did a master's in psychology. Then I went to school for my master's in business because I knew I wanted to be a business owner. Right. And I was not getting business training in therapy school, in psychology school. They do not teach you how to become a business owner. So what I did was I combined my therapy background, and I went back and got my social work degree, and I combined all of those knowledge and experience, and I put it together in this book to help mental health practitioners not to have an excuse why they can make the great impact and also make the money that they desire.
Right, and own their own business.
On their own business.
That was really, really smart of you to want to get that business savvy and knowledge to back your own practice and other practices, because even writing books and being an author is a business in itself.
Yes, it is.
And you've got to promote it. You've got to figure out how to get the word out there to sell it and have those avenues, and venues to sell, whether they're bookstores or websites and things of that sort. So kudos to you.
Thank you. Yes. And the difference between Unbreakable and this book is that Unbreakable was self-published. right? This book was picked up by a traditional publisher, right? And the process is different. So I learned the self-publishing world. Now I know how it is to find someone to want to publish your book, right? So for sure, you know that I'm going to leverage that soon because, you know, everything you learn, you should leverage in a way to help others do the same. And yes, it's a different experience, but it's a very rewarding experience for me.
And there's so many people going into entrepreneurship. I feel like with the pandemic, you know, it gave people time to kind of sit and reflect, like, what do I really have a passion for?
Yes.
What do I want to go out there and go get it and help the world in whatever way it is, from 360 photo booths to printing services,
yes,
whatever it is, lawn care services and snow removal, whatever it is, it's all a business, and it's just like paying yourself first and not necessarily working for or relying on a company or someone else
yes,
to hire you, to employ you, to pay you. And that has to be a rewarding experience in itself.
It is. And to be honest, what I have learned about, you know, going through diversity in my life and crises is that every crisis brings the seed of opportunities. You just have to be willing to see the opportunities within the crisis, because you can either sit in the crisis and cry about the crisis, or you can see something great that can come out of the crisis.
Right.
So with COVID coming around, I began doing, well, the truth is this, right? I began my private practice doing in-home services. That's what I used to do when I started. But then when the pandemic hit, guess what? We couldn't go to people's home. So then you have to innovate, right? You have to transform yourself and ask yourself, what is the best next step so I can continue with my business and grow it? So in the pandemic, in that 1 year, I grew up over 95%. My business grew.
Wow.
It was like insane, right? And now that we are telehealth, now we're going back in person, I was like, God, what is the next step for me? Okay, in-home. I love in-home services. I know that it works. So we are launching the new program called The Fifth, and it's an in-home program to integrate families. So you will get the outpatient experience of therapy in the comfort of your own home, and we even can provide you psychiatric services as well for children, adolescents, adults, couples, families, and really just allowing people to have access to mental health. If you don't have transportation, if you have any type of anxiety that it's really difficult for you to leave your house, maybe some people don't know how to manage all the technology with telehealth and all of that. So I decided to launch this program. So we're starting in the greater area of Hartford, and I am so excited, right? So this is all part of my multi-million-dollar private practice framework, right? So the framework allows me to innovate. And my goal is to really be at the top of the healthcare sector, where people, when they think about Soribel, when they think about SM psychotherapy and counseling services, multi-million-dollar private practice, Unbreakable, they will always think about, well, I know Soribel has something else going on, so let me go see what she's doing. So that's how it all came about. We have to be able to see beyond the crisis and beyond what's going on in front of our eyes.
Yeah, you're just such a wealth of knowledge and information, and to have a passion for helping people and even making it convenient. So after the pandemic, there's telehealth, like you said, or Zoom or WebEx, and those avenues where no one has to leave the comfort of their home, and but going to their home, you're getting that in-person interaction.
Yes.
Which is different from looking at a screen.
Yes.
So I commend you for that as well. Still gives the convenience of the person not having to find transportation or pay for gas, or maybe they're just not feeling like going out into the world and leaving the comfort of their home that day.
Yes.
So that's a wonderful thing. And I'm sure there are going to be tons of people who take advantage of that. So kudos to you again.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So the process for Unbreakable, I know that's your first baby, your first book. Well, baby in terms of your,
yes.
your what do you call them? Like professional goals.
Yes.
And avenues and things of that nature. What was the main difference between writing Unbreakable or bringing that to fruition versus multi-million-dollar private practice?
Unbreakable was very personal, right? Unbreakable, I spoke a lot about some of my losses, some of the adversity I experienced with immigration, separation from my parents to come to this country. I talked about brain surgery and aneurysms. I talked about religious trauma. I talked about some of the things that I had to encounter being a single mom and then opening up my business and so on and so forth. Multi-million-dollar private practice book is it's more about business skills and business strategies, because the truth is that you cannot build a business without business mindset and a business skills. And unfortunately, a lot of times we desire to have a business, but we forget that we need to be trained to build a business. You know why it's so important? Because I realized that the way that we do one thing is the way that we do everything. So I wanted to do the personal development book first, because we must work on ourselves. We must go internally and change from within in order for us to be successful in the business. Because if we don't, all the trauma, all the nonsense, all the dysfunction is going to show up in the business.
Right, it's going to spill over into the business world.
And it will ruin it.
More people than just yourself.
Yes, and then it ruins your business, because you're running your business the way you would running your life. And you can't run a business the way you used to run your life. You need to work on yourself so you can have that alignment, right? And you can bring all the greatness within you into your business.
So everyone, you hear this. If you don't have Unbreakable yet, make sure you purchase Unbreakable too, and multi-million-dollar private practice, because they go hand in hand. And
yes.
It seems like it. It seems like they're totally different books. But as Soribel just mentioned and just explained, that working on yourself, and that was a huge point.
Yes, working on ourselves all the time.
Right.
Yes.
And then really growing your business and getting that business savvy. How can folks go about purchasing the book?
So right now this book is on pre-order, but you can go to Barnes & Noble to pre-order the book. And then once you get that book on Barnes & Noble, right, you go to barnesandnoble.com, you type multi-million-dollar private practice, is going to come up, and you pre-order it. Then what you're going to do, you're going to head to MMDPPbook.com and claim over $1,000 in bonuses that I'm offering for those who pre-order the book early.
So when you say pre-order, when is it actually dropping or coming out?
May 14th.
Okay, yeah. So we've got some time.
Yes.
And the holidays are coming up. So
get those books.
Pre-order in.
Yes.
Do yourselves a favor. Do your parents, brothers, sisters, cousins a favor. Friends.
Yes. 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 Because here's the thing. The best gift that we can give someone is the gift of doing something for themselves that is going to transcend. My father used to tell me, Soribel, none of you is ever going to stay. What really stays and the thing that you're going to take with you is what you have in between your ears.
Right.
Your mind, your brain, that is the most important, right? So a lot of times we focus on all the material things we want to buy people, but sometimes one book can literally just change the life of someone, and it may cost you what, $20?
And you change their entire life and trajectory.
Yes. Yes.
And you're leaving a legacy.
Yes.
Through your work and through your books, and then it can affect someone else to then leave their legacy and make their imprint on the world as well. So it's going to be like a ripple effect.
Yes.
In a positive way.
Yes, because people think like changing the world is about going out there and changing the 8 billion of humans in the whole world. No. One person has a whole generation within themselves. And if you can impact that one person and that person can make the change, then that person is going to automatically impact the generations to come. And this is how we create massive impact in the world, not just in number of people, but one person at a time that you are teaching them, helping them, saving their business, maybe saving their marriage or their relationships or their family. One family, one person, one marriage, one business owner. That's all it takes. So we don't have to focus on the massive people, but one person at a time.
That was perfect. One person at a time.
Yes.
Was there a favorite part in the process of the formation and creation of multi-million-dollar private practice?
My favorite part is when I start writing, and in the beginning it's always like, oh my God, like, you're pushing the information, you're looking for the information. But then it gets to a point when you're writing where you just, I'm not going to say you become another person, but there's something that explodes in you. And then all that knowledge, all that greatness, all that potential that you have, it just starts just flowing. It's just like poetry. Right? You just start flowing and flowing and flowing before you know the chapter is done. Like right now, I'm writing my next book on marketing, and I'm already on chapter 6, right? And the other day, I was like, I have time, a specific time on Mondays and Tuesdays to write my books. So I have time blocks that I have specifically for that. And I had to stop, and I was mad that I had to stop because there was a flow. It's like a river. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Like, it's a river, and then that information just flowing through you into your what you're typing, into what you're saying. And I was like, oh man, I had to stop. I had another commitment. But it's really that connection, and to me, it's my spiritual connection to my creator, because I know that I was created to change other people through my words, whether if it's here saying it to you, or you reading it, or you go to one of my classes, or you come to one of my seminars, or you come to one of my workshops. I believe that when I'm sharing information and knowledge that can be implemented, I feel the closest to my creator.
Each one to each one. And you're walking in your purpose.
Yes.
And that has to be an amazing feeling. Like
yes.
you said, feeling
yes.
the closest to your creator
yes.
in the work that you're doing.
Yes. And then when you don't feel well and you don't want to do it, you still do it. That's the truth. Like,
you know that it's bigger than you.
Yes. Like, it's something that's bigger than you, that you can't stop it for one incident, for one moment of like, I don't feel like doing this, or it's too cold outside, or I wish I could stay in bed. It's like, no, this is not about you, dear. There's something bigger, there's something greater. And also, like, I'm a mom of a 16-year-old son, right? So how do I teach my son that whether if you want to do it or not, we still need to motivate ourselves to get it done? It's not telling him, do it. It's doing it. You show it. You show it every time.
I love that. And so speaking of that, in those hard times, when you're not feeling the best, or it's freezing outside and you're like, oh, I don't want to go out there. What was the hardest part in creating this piece of work?
Let me see. I think the hardest part was really that you can't put everything in a book. You can't. The publishers, there's word counts, there are pages counts, and I can probably write a Bible, right? But the information has to be condensed. Right now, publishers don't want big books because printing costs has increased since the pandemic.
Everything.
Right? So there's a lot of information that was left out of this book because I can't teach you everything in a book. The good thing is that I've been able to create the multi-million-dollar private practice online course that is launching in January. So I can teach more in depth about these concepts, right? But I think the hardest part for me is like, you can't put everything, and you have to be able to have short sentences, short chapters. It has to be engaging. You have to tell your stories. Like, people don't get it. Like, you have to tell your stories. You have to interject your personality. You are that book, right? Because it's like my experiences. The other day, I lost my grandpa, and I was dealing with some emotional things and some things, and I was telling myself, I am living my next book. The next level of my business was being written in the things that I was experiencing in my personal life, because your personal life will impact your business.
Right.
Yes or yes, right? So those things that I was experiencing, going through with grief, loss, all of that, was giving me the opportunity to gather the stories that I'm going to tell in my next book. Not this book about marketing, but my other book about leadership.
I'm confident that you're going to have 10, 15, 20.
I think I want 23.
Yeah?
23.
How did you choose that number? Is that your favorite number? 23?
No, it's just the number that I chose.
That you feel in your spirit.
Minimum 23. So
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it too. So my publisher is like, please send that baby over. So I'm writing a book about marketing right now, and the next book is going to be about Unbreakable leadership.
Nice. And I have to read every single one. Make sure that I get every single copy of each book that you come out with. They're all like easy reads, as you explained too.
That's the purpose. We want, you want to write a book that people can read easily, that there's not a lot of
like
jargon. You want to make it easy for people to read, easy to people to connect. And the truth is that my brain can't go in one book, right? But at least you can see the beginning of those thoughts and the things that I have created for myself there. And there's going to be, like, this book probably has another, this book itself has another.
Like another volume.
Probably another 18 books.
Wow.
Because, for example, I talk about money mindset inside of this book. So I'm planning to write the multi-million-dollar money mindset book, right? And then there's another chapter here about business mindset. That's a book. Right? Because I can't give you everything in one book. So I'm going to be pulling, if you notice, on Unbreakable, in chapter 10, I gave you the introduction to this book. When I talked about building your business, right? And I talked about this book. And that's how I introduced this book. And in this book, I'm introducing the next book.
All incredible, and I look forward to having you back on the show to talk about your next book and the
one
after that.
Yes, of course.
And the one after that. What is the best way for anyone to contact you if they want to go to one of your seminars or one of your speaking engagements, things of that nature, your social media, anything that you can give out?
Yes. So the best way is www.soribelmartinez.com. You will find everything that I'm doing there. Follow me on social media. On Facebook, you will find me at Soribel Martinez. Instagram is therapist_Soribel Martinez. LinkedIn is Soribel Martinez. YouTube is Soribel Martinez. So you're going to find a piece of, you can Google me. Like right now, Google has designated me as an author, so that's there. So you can just look for me and you will find information about all the things that I'm doing for the new year. I'm having a 3-day seminar in May. So, there's a lot of great things coming.
I see. And Soribel is spelled Soribel. I'm sure we've got people Googling you right now.
Go Google it.
Following you on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and all the other avenues for social media.
Yes.
It's come in such handy. Did you find that, with writing your books and your business, ultimately, that technology has been a gift? It
has been. That's why when the pandemic first hit, and we had all these clients, in-home clients. I remember that the next day, the country was shut down on a Sunday. I remember I was returning back from vacation on Monday. I spent Monday from 8 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night teaching my clients how to use Zoom. So technology is a curse and it can be a blessing. It all depends how you are going to use it or misuse it. It's all about the use or the misuse. It becomes an issue when we misuse things. Everything in life has a positive in it.
Right, there are ups and downs.
Yes, to everything.
To everything.
Yes.
I agree wholeheartedly with that. Well, again, I commend you on everything that you're doing. Is there anything that we haven't mentioned that you want to get out there? I don't want to end this interview or conversation with you, and then you know how afterwards you're like, oh, I should have said this. So is there anything for you where you're like, I want to get this out?
I want people to have an opportunity to build a crisis-proven life and business. Because crises are going to happen. There's this life. And the reason why crisis will always happen is because we do not grow in our comfort zone. In our comfort zone, we get comfortable and we don't do anything. It is within crisis and adversity and challenges that we are pushed, pulled, and stretched. And when we stretch, then we grow. So build an unbreakable life and business that will allow you not to live a perfect life, but to live your life on purpose. And then everything else is extra. Like the skills and the strategies, I can teach them to you.
And if you don't go through those challenges or crises, not to say you don't appreciate it as much, but it helps you appreciate it even more. Like, oh, I went through blood, sweat, and tears to get here.
Yes.
And you just feel so accomplished. Like something comes over you, like, you want to let out a scream.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because what people see is like, I'm celebrating my book. I'm here talking to you about it. But what challenges did I have to overcome this morning to be here today? What challenges did I have to overcome yesterday or the day before or a month ago? Or maybe when I was writing my book or when I was writing Unbreakable, when I went into grief, in that chapter when I talk about grief and losing my child, right? I spent a whole day in bed grieving, right? I could have said, I am not going to continue to write the book. And I remember that the next day was a Tuesday. I was still up at 8 o'clock in the morning writing. And when nothing wants to come out, because we're human, then I ask God, I need you to help me bring whatever the words are that I need to tell people today. Because somebody will need it.
Absolutely. And it's such a powerful testimony.
Yes.
And success story, and to reach that success and just knowing any triumphs that you went through, and then people can relate.
Yes.
And when they can relate to you and they hear or read you being vulnerable, it inspires people.
Yes.
And that's a wonderful thing.
Yes, it is.
You are a blessing.
Thank you. You are a blessing too.
But I will say it again, and I just can't wait to have you come back and talk about the next book and the next venture and everything that you have on the horizon, and just loving watching and being able to witness it.
But before then, you have to come to the book launch so I can sign your book, because I'm not signing it today. I'm not signing it. I'm not signing this today. You have to come to the book launch, and then I will sign it.
I will be there. Tell me the time, the date, the place, and I'm going to be there and make sure that you sign my book. And I'll probably be done reading it by then, hopefully. So
yes, by May you should be reading it.
Yes. So thank you so much. Soribel Martinez, she's an author, a business coaching consultant, CEO of SM Psychotherapy and Counseling Services, and so much more. Motivational speaker.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the list could go on, and you keep adding to it.
Yes. But you said,
after your name.
But it's not about the titles, right? It's about us fulfilling our purpose, our vision, and our mission on this world. The titles don't matter. They just help us get there. But it's really about me leaving this world empty. That's what it's all about.
And you're doing that.
I'm trying to.
I'm Erica Lynn. Thank you all so much for listening, and thank you once again, Soribel Martinez, for coming in and just giving your gifts to the world.
You're welcome.
We appreciate you. We salute you.
Thank you.
This is the Beat of CT, and it's at 937.